All right, so the San Francisco 49ers had their hopes of a 17-0 season dashed by a Deshaun Watson-less led Cleveland Browns team. Evan, what are your initial takeaways from this game?
Yeah, it's going to be a while before we see 17-0. I think if I'm the 49ers, don't worry about this. This was a fluke game. People really want to give credit to the Cleveland Browns. We'll get to that in a little bit. But here's why I think it was a fluke game. Number one, you lost three players in this game, huge players on offense. Trent Williams, Deebo Samuel, Christian McCaffrey. They all went down with injury. So essentially what you got left is like some of the offensive line, Brock Purdy, Brandon Ayuk, and like what else, right? And you still almost won. You were a missed 41-yard field goal away from winning this game. It sucks. You always want to. The Niners, I think, are by far, maybe not by far. The Dolphins' offenses look pretty good, but I do think the Niners are the best team in the NFL right now. So I wouldn't worry too much about this loss, even though it stinks. People are also going to talk about Brock Purdy at the end. He had a pretty rough ending. He had it in on the drive that they could have the second to last drive when they had the lead and could have put away the game. He threw an intentional grounding, and then they couldn't get it going. And then he almost threw another intentional grounding. He looked lost. He did look lost. It was a low point for him. But I still think he's a very good quarterback, system or not. First of all, that's in some instances is not bad to be a system quarterback. I wish it'd be nice. I bring Kyle Shanahan. I'm a Titans fan. Bring him over to the Tennessee Titans. I will take that. Give me Ryan Tannehill could be a system quarterback all day. I don't care. We're winning games, right? So that's not a bad thing. That's a knock. So I wouldn't knock Purdy either. Now to the Browns. People are rushing to credit the Browns. But we've seen this with the Browns over and over. Yes, they just with a third string quarterback, Robinson, of course, and the defense played out of their minds. That's why they won the game. They won. They've got a good home field advantage at Cleveland. But can you win on the road ever? I mean, the Pittsburgh game on Monday Night Football earlier this year, couldn't get the job done. They can't get the job done until I see them consistently play good away from home. I'm not going to get on the Browns train. But we'll just leave that as my initial thoughts. Jordan, biggest takeaways from this game.
So my initial takeaway was not just how embarrassed. Like I'm not. I know I've used the word embarrassing a lot, but I feel like this was a bad loss for the 49ers, right? Like Evan said, they're still the best in the NFL, and I believe that to be the case. But I mean, come on, you can't lose to the Cleveland Browns without Deshaun Watson. I feel like this was a game that the Niners should have won, even with the injuries that Evan mentioned. Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, Trent Williams going down on offense. George Kittle in this game had one catch for 1 yard. I don't think that you guys understand how not bad that is, but how much that is, or the lack of. I feel like the Niners defense should have definitely played a lot better, right? We've heard that this defense is the best in the NFL, and while that still might be the case, they let the team down a little bit on Sunday, giving up I believe it was 19 to the Browns. For the Niners, the sky's not falling, but this was a tough pill to swallow, indeed.
Yeah, but I just don't agree that this was that embarrassing maybe for the kicker because he had a terrible day and he missed the game-winning 41-yard field goal. But you bring up Deshaun Watson. I don't, a lot of people haven't watched Deshaun Watson. They know he's on the Browns. They know he got paid. A lot of people might be disgusted about that. But a lot of people haven't tuned into Browns game because they've been about 500. So what has Deshaun Watson done? Nothing. Nothing. He's been horrible, almost, you could say. Not quite. I'm going to say below average to put it nicely. So I don't know how much the quarterback thing comes into play, which is why I don't view it as an embarrassing loss for the 49ers.